Hey friends, it's me, the Ebony Otaku, the well-rounded nerd. You didn't get up from where you sat in your last video, sure didn't. I'm filming 2 videos back to back today, and I am in the middle of getting things ready for Nashcon. I have primed the planes I'll be giving away. Remember the contest rules now. Y'all get me to 7,500 subscribers by August the 15th. Everything I print and build for Nashcon, not the stuff I already have now. Y'all can't have my planes. But what I'm bringing to do the demo game, I'm painting it and I'm going to give it away. Now, these are 3D prints because they don't make Aeronautica anymore. I'm all for buying things and putting them together, which is kind of hard to find for Aeronautica right now. So building you an Aeronautica kit that I'm going to let you have, basically. And your force, as you can see here, are going to be Ultramarines, which these were printed on a Bamboo A1 Mini. It printed pretty smooth. I would usually file things down. The bottom is nothing to look at, but you only look at this part of the plane. I'm actually pretty darn impressed with how smooth it is. And these actually got rattle can primed with Macragge blue, which is the ultramarine blue from Games Workshop. Well, no, I'm sorry, Army Painter. Okay, y'all stop changing names of stuff because I can't keep up. But yeah, I think for PLA 3D prints, I could have done these on my resin printer, but I don't really feel like fooling with it right now. It's a little bit more mess to deal with the resin printer, and my resin printer is out in my shop in the garage. His resin printer is in here, but we got plate cleaning to do and all this kind of stuff. I got to recalibrate it. I don't feel like doing that right now, so I'm doing this. But they still look pretty good. I can't wait to get them painted and give them to someone. In the last video, I just primed the first set of scenery that I'll be giving away. I cannot wait for someone to win this. And when we do the comment contest and I announce the winner, you got to claim your prize. Okay? Don't hurt my feelings and not claim your prize. Um, that's a whole other story. But now I just got through cleaning out this airbrush, so I'm going to disconnect it and put it back in its holder. I have a little set of holders right here. You can see with the way I'm filming now. It's clean. It's good. And what I'm going to do now is give these guys their contrast coat. So the reason I'm doing ultramarines for this is because they're pretty, if you can't guess what to give somebody, give them ultramarines. All right, because I'm going to be giving this away. And I've got several different contrasts I can use here. I've got azurine blue. I have ultramarine blue contrast. I might do a couple here. I've got Pilar Glacier contrast. That's purple. I don't want purple contrast. I'm thinking I could just do the ultramarine blue with some azurine. So let me mix this real quick. And we're going to pick back up on Warhammer 101, and we're just going to talk about Horus in this video and why the period of 30K is also referred to as the Horus Heresy. Whose heresy? Horus's heresy. Who committed treachery? Horus did. Who caused all the problems everybody's having? Horus. Horus and his spoiled self want too much, do too much, know too much. Okay, I'm gonna quit being mean to Horus. Horus is your problem. Let's see here. I need a brush that I can do contrast with. Ooh, not the Artist Opus brushes. Those are not contrasting brushes. I might have to steal one of my husband's brushes. Oh, no, I have a whole drawer of brushes right here. Let me look down here. See here on the bottom? It's got that's some of the paint medium. It's not quite mixed yet. We have a paint mixer. That you hear, that's the paint mixer. Let me mix a little bit more. I'm going to turn it upside down and mix now. Actually, do I have any agitator balls? I think I do. We're going to get back to Horus in a second as soon as I find where I put my little silver agitators. It's these little balls that you can put in these, and it'll help disturb the paint so that it mixes better. But I'm not sure I can turn this thing with my laptop right where I have it. Oh, there it is. Oh, I can reach it. I can reach it. Come on. I love my desk so much. All right, got it. That turned to the door to the rest of my house. Y'all don't need to care about the rest of my house. Just me. Oh, no, that's the closet door. Agitators. These are great. You're having trouble mixing your paint, drop one of these in. If your paint's starting to get a little bit dried out, throw a little bit thinner in there too. Good stuff. I mean, I'm not good enough to give a bunch of instructions, but what I do know, I know very well. The stuff I know, I know. We're going to throw this in here. Isn't that a lovely color? Drop. And now we mix. Anywho, back to Horus and his shenanigans. So we left off, the Emperor is taking his now Space Marine legions out into the galaxy to start conquering worlds on behalf of Terra. What's the problem with that? How long have these humans been gone? We talked about in the last video, how long have these humans been gone? A while, thousands of years. Just like I said, I probably could not go make myself a home in any African nation. None of these humans can probably come back to Earth and feel at home. Because what happens after thousands of years? Evolution. People change. They adapt to where they are. They're not what they were. And there's nothing wrong with that. But the Emperor has it in his head, these are my humans, I'm going to go get them. And these humans don't know he's coming. And they definitely don't know he's coming with a posse. And they definitely don't know he's coming with a cadre of demigods to rain heck on them from above. They don't know any of this is about to befall them. Humans just out here in the galaxy, been living their lives. Some of them have been gone from Terra for so long, they don't know Terra existed. Some of them have crossbred with alien species, which that's a big old no-no in Warhammer, you know. But you know, when you start looking at things from those perspectives, it gets a little scary. Like, come on, Emperor, why? Just leave all these people alone. Nope, Emperor wants to unite humanity. And the first Primarch he finds after the scattering of the Primarchs is Horus. And you know how it is. The first child has the best relationship with the parents. Horus is not the first legion. He's the first Primarch the Emperor found after the Primarchs were scattered across the known galaxy. So Horus gets to have fun with dad time and their space marines for a couple hundred years before they find the next Primarch. Lucky him. I'm going to use this guy. This is a good one. So Horus is, for all intents and purposes, we're going to call him, let's think of him as, if you want to do like a religious allegory for it, you can almost think of him like the prodigal son. You can even think of him like the fallen angel Lucifer to an extent. Horus is the ideal of what the Primarch should be. Ooh, this contrast is so pretty. Dry brushing will be next, and panel painting. I might panel line, I don't know. But contrast does such a good job. I love contrast. Pretty. But Horus, he's doing the thing. He is definitely the favorite. He's the first one who was found. Of course he's the favorite. He's number one. He's number one. As time goes by, they do uncover the rest of the Primarchs, and those different stories happen different ways. I've been talking about Primarchs in a separate series. I'm going to continue that, so you can go find that on my Warhammer list, different Primarch videos, and I'll keep doing those. But every Primarch, when they encounter the Emperor and or Horus for the first time, they have a different reaction. Some of the Primarchs are like, "Ooh, Dad, about time you found me," and others are like, "Haven't had you this long, don't need you, don't want you." Yeah, be gone, basically. And that's fine, I get it, if someone hasn't been a part of your life since, you were born, uh, maybe you don't need them. Anywho, that's a discussion for another day. But Horus and the Emperor, they're tight. They're boys. They're father and son. And he is the only one of the Primarchs that the Emperor basically referred to as, oh, that's my son. He's like a son to me. The rest are Primarchs. But that one, that Horus is special. The rest of you aren't as special as him. ain't no better way to piss off your other kids than make it real obvious which one of your kids you love the most. Every parent has a favorite. You're not supposed to say who the favorite is. You put a target on their back. But the Emperor and Horus, they have a grand old time running across the galaxy conquering worlds together. They're having a blast. Good for them. As they uncover the other Primarchs, and the Emperor feels more secure that his offspring can handle things, he wants to go back to Terra and start the next phase of his bring humans back together plans. Now, let's be clear. when they're unifying the worlds and bringing humans back into what they call compliance, compliance isn't a choice. When the Emperor, Primarch, Space Marines land on your planet, you're supposed to go, oh, great, we've been waiting for you. We can't wait to be a part of the Imperium and send our psychers and money back to Terra. Best day ever. That's what you're supposed to say. If you say absolutely not, there's war. That's why it's called Warhammer. It's the grimdark of the future. They will bring you into compliance if you won't comply. And if they can't bring you into compliance, they'll destroy your planet. So they're not exactly altruistic. Let's be real about it. Isn't that ultramarine blue just sensational? I can't wait to see this when the contrast dries, and then I'll see my raised areas where I need to do dry brushing and panel highlights. Oh, this one's already drying. It's looking so good. Anywho, I'm not sure the camera picks up just how great this is. But what the Emperor ends up doing is naming Horus the War Master. I think I'm going to do the Azurman contrast on the bottoms of these planes, or maybe even the Pilar Glacier. I'm going to set these aside to dry and pick up airbrushing my other pieces that I hope to give away. There we go. So what the Emperor does is he puts Horus in charge of his other brothers so he can go back to Earth, back to Terra, and do whatever it is the Emperor's doing. What is it? We know what the Emperor was doing, but that's not the point of this video. Horus is in charge. There's a big ceremony because all of the Primarchs at this point are out across the galaxy making war in the name of the Emperor and Terra. They don't see each other very often. Different Primarchs have relationships with one another, as you know, the bond of siblings should happen. My favorite sibling pair amongst the Primarchs is Ferrus Manus and Fulgrim. They're bros until they're not. That's a whole other story. The Gorgon and the Phoenician. I love them. I love them so much until you don't love them. But the Primarchs have different relationships with each other, but they all equally, at least in the beginning, profess to respect Horus. Horus is the ideal of who they should be. You know, he got into their father's good graces somehow. Be like Horus. Horus wins his battles. Horus doesn't back down. And Horus's legion initially is called the Luna Wolves. And he has been asked several times by the Emperor and some of his brothers, why don't you change the name of the Luna Wolves to the Sons of Horus? But Horus is so humble and so great and so good that he doesn't want to do that. He's like, I don't deserve to have a legion directly named after me. So he's not going to do that. But when the Emperor puts him in charge and says, hey, you're War Master now. You're in charge of your brothers, these other legions. You are now my direct administrator of war upon the galaxy, of bringing worlds into compliance. Horus relents and calls himself not just War Master, he calls his legion the Sons of Horus at that point. And that's kind of a big turning point in the story of Horus, because when you initially read about him, he is all the Primarchs are larger than life, but he particularly, he's like everybody's big brother. He is the guy that every dude wants to be like, and he's the guy that every girl would want to date. Like, that's who Horus is. I know that was a very 50s reference, but that's the best I got right now. Um, Horus is the man. He's the dude. He's he's the greatest of us all. All of the Primarchs seemingly respect him that we know of at this moment. Um, and a lot of them were together to see Horus elevated to War Master. It's a big deal. Now, at the same time, in Horus's Legion, as it was the Luna Wolves, and when it becomes the Sons of Horus, there's something going on that if the Emperor knew about it, uh, Emperor wouldn't take too kindly. Inside of the Luna Wolves slash Sons of Horus, there are what are called lodges. Think of these like brotherhood groups, fraternities, if you will, which in terms of Warhammer lore and what the Emperor wants for his legions and for humans, it's kind of a no-no because they have customs and practices in these lodges that go against what the emperor teaches. But, you know, they're done in secret. They're out of the way. Does Horus know about them? Yes. Does Horus do anything? No, because the lodges bring peace. The problem is there's a lot of treachery being sown in these lodges because the lodges meet secretly. They talk about things secretly. And for some reason, it doesn't cross Horus's mind that maybe I should put a stop to this. And Horus has a set of advisors that are close to him. They're called the Morning Ball. And there are four of them who become key characters throughout all of Warhammer lore. There is Ezekiel Abaddon. You recognize that name? Abaddon the Despoiler? Yeah. There is Little Horus, Horus Aximond. There is Garviel Loken. Super important, that Garviel Loken. And Tarek Turgadon. You know all the names? When I say I know this lore, she is not blowing smoke up your butt. I'm not reading off of anything right now. I'm painting and talking to y'all. Okay? She knows this lore like the back of her hand. It's weird. Too bad I couldn't do this good in school. I was too busy learning Warhammer War. All right. We got our coat of contrast on there. I can't do details on them until that dries. This needs to be cleaned out now. Another tub of water. I got a water with an agitator in the bottom to clean the brush out really good. You got to get one of these. I actually have a bowl, too, that has that built in. This one's from Game Envy, but it's a portable bowl, and it has that little brush thing in it, too, so it pops out, which I can't do with one hand. But that's my Go Places water cup because it flattens out. Love it so much. Always clean your brushes when you're done. Don't let them sit. Don't let them sit in the water. Don't do that. More brushes get ruined that way. All right. This brush is good. Dry it out in the paper towel. Make sure no color comes out. A little bit more. Something just fell, and I don't know what. But nothing crashed, so I'm less concerned. All right, gonna let this dry. Put it back in its brush holder. There we go. You might hear a loud voice outside the room. The son came in to fix himself something to eat. Let me close this up because I'm going to do one last little bit of airbrushing before I'm done talking to y'all today. So, these look so fantastic. I need to set these way off to the side because I'm going to airbrush, and airbrush particles will stick very well to fresh contrast. So I'm going to set these over here. And now we're going to go in with some brown black on top of the scenery pieces that I did in the last video. So Horus is letting these lodges go on. At the beginning of the first book in the Horus Heresy, which is called Horus Rising, he ain't betrayed nobody yet. But in the first book called Horus Rising, which Horus is on the uptick, he's ascending, he's becoming. This one needs a shaker ball in it too. He's becoming who he's going to be. There is an opening in his Morning Ball. Garviel Loken is not originally a part of the Morning Ball. The captain that had that role is killed in battle, which, you know, for a Space Marine, that's how you want to go. You want to go in battle. So they're clean-ons. All right? They want glory in death. They don't want, you know, die in the old folks' home. When Garviel Loken is elevated to being part of the Morning Ball and part of Horus's inner circle, whoop, that just snuck right off. It's sitting on top of my air compressor. Did it turn off? It did, didn't it? Nope, it's on now. It got unplugged. There we go. Let me do this real quick. Hey, babies. There we go. That got it. Shaker ball, man. Shaker ball is your best friend. One of the things I do love about using ink is I do not have to thin it. You can just get with it on the ink. So, there we go. Gloved hand. Ring is safely put away. Yes, my room is ventilated. He gonna bark in every video. I can't help it. It's what he does. This is his house. I just used this brush, so it should still be clean, but let's make sure. Yep, there we go. See how you can see a little bit of water coming out? That's how you know that the flow is good. Ooh, this has a color on it that I do not want on my... We're going to get a new glove. Or is this the glove that, this is the glove that I wanted. I almost picked up my gray scenery with a blue laden glove. That would have been a tragedy. This is the glove I want. Come on. Got it. He went and got one of his treat bones and brought it in here, as one does. This glove is on backwards, and I do not care. Brown black. Brown black is such an interesting color. All right. Let's see how it do. It do exactly what I want it to do. So Garville Loken, he is exemplary of an officer as an officer can be. He is what one would call good people. And he is unanimously voted into being part of the Morning Ball. Like, they're all like, yeah, he's the one. If you're going to elevate somebody else, he's the one we want to work with. And Horus is happy to do it. Garville has shown himself to be, exceptional in battle, level-headed, everything you want in an advisor. Now, let's talk about what these advisors really are. When someone like a Primarch has an advisor, the advisor is not there to give advice. The advisor is there to go, yes, Horus, I see your point, and you're the Primarch, let's do that. It's a ceremonial position, but Garville takes it seriously. He's like, okay, we're the advisors. I'm here to advise. And they kind of have to give him some coaching, like, oh, okay, when we say advise, what we really mean is say yes to Horus. That's what advising means. And you know what? Not going to lie, Garville's a little disappointed by that. He's like, wait a minute, why are you going to call me an advisor? I'm not advising. And because Loken is Garville and Loken, same person, because he's now part of the Morning Ball, they let him in on the secret of the lodges. And they take him to a lodge meeting, specifically, or Abaddon. I mean, how'd y'all not know he was a bad guy? His name is Abaddon. It's kind of like with a Fabius Bile. His last name is Bile. That's how literature works, anyway. I'm joking, but not really. So they take him to a lodge meeting. Loken observes what's going on in there. Loken, Garville, Loken. And he's like, I don't think this is good. I think this is bad. It feels a little chaosy. All right, feels a little chaosy. Ruinous, powery. Things that the Emperor told them not to mess with. The Emperor might go dabbling around in chaos. That doesn't mean you can go dabbling around in chaos. You are not the Emperor. You don't get to dabble in chaos. And he actually talks to Horus Aximond and Abaddon about this, and he's like, guys, I don't think we should be doing this. I think I think we should tell the Primarch and be done with this. And they're like, don't ruin our fun. Don't be that guy. We recommended you for this role. Now, don't make us hate that we recommended you. So there's already a little bit of tension. And Tark Targadon falls more on the side of Loken than he does Horus Aximon and Ezekiel Abaddon. So there's a little bit of a split in the Morning Ball. It's not apparent at first, but they don't all see eye to eye on this whole lodge thing. Well, Garville decides he's going to take it to Horus and be like, Horus, lodges. You know what Horus's response is? Let it be. 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 If these little rituals of brotherhood keep people peaceful, I don't care. That is Horus's response. And Garville clutches his virtual pearls. He's like, excuse me, sir? What do you mean? Just let it be. Yeah, we can't let it be. We're space marines. And he's like, look, Loken, I know you're new at this Morning Ball thing, and I get it. You want to make a name for yourself. However, we're out here warring and doing all kinds of crazy stuff. And these little things like this, they let the men have a place to go, let their brains free for a while. Just let it go. And it builds the bonds of brotherhood within the legions. We're going to let it be. You're going to let it be, Logan. Let it be. And Logan's like, I guess. Now, here's where things start getting really, really bad. And it'll be where we pick up in the next video. Why do you think the lodges are such a problem? Granted, yeah, the obvious chaos implications. But really, why do you think they're a problem? I'll give you a moment to answer while I spray all the nooks and or crannies. Base coat, gotta add our base coat. Base coat, base coat. They're a problem because when things are done in secret, they're rarely going to be good for everyone involved. And that's true for life. If you got to keep it a secret, you probably shouldn't be doing it. Okay? Can't nobody know what you're doing, don't do it. All right? Simple as that. I'm not talking about, like not shouting about your relationships and stuff like that. I'm talking about, the things that matter. You know, if you're really excited about somebody, um, you, no, scratch that. Like, say you're really excited about a new job, but you can't tell nobody about your job. Should you take that job? Like, you fill out the paperwork and they say, you can't tell anybody about this job. Like, I'm going to step on some toes here. Remember, she won't talk about politics, but she will talk about religion. There are churches out there that if you join them, and remember, I'm a Christian now. She is. She good and Baptist. Actually, I don't know what I am. I'm a Christian, but as far as an actual denomination, I kind of lean Lutheran, but I kind of lean a little Presbyterian. I don't know. That's a whole nother discussion for another day that I'm not having on this channel. But there are churches out there that will make you sign an NDA when you join. I personally don't do church membership. I go, but I'm not signing any paperwork for anybody. I sign paperwork at my job, but I would be leery of a religious organization that asks you to sign an NDA to go to church there. I don't care if it's purporting to be Christian, Buddhist, Muslim, Hindu, whatever. What do you mean? Because, the point of just about every religion is to, recruit. And, you can't recruit without talking to people. What do you mean I can't talk about this to nobody? What do you mean I can't talk about what goes on in this church? Mm-mm. Mm-mm. That's kind of the energy that is given from these lodges. And the lodges are actually not just isolated incidents within um, within the Legion. They are pretty standard in Horus's Legion. There's bunches of them. They're everywhere. Like, Horus knows there's a few, but there's tons of them. And all of them are secretive, and all of them have a different level of dealings with the ruinous powers, which is a big no-no in the Emperor's world. I don't know if you know this, again, hearkening back to religions that most of us know about, but in the Bible does not say unfamiliar spirits don't exist. It says don't screw with them. It says do not tempt unfamiliar spirit. It does not say weird stuff doesn't exist. It says don't go looking for it. All right? You can find something you can't handle, so stay away. All right? Better sage that house. I'm being silly now. But that's basically what the Emperor does. He doesn't really explain chaos to his sons, to the legions. I mean, even really to Malkador. Malkador figures a lot of more stuff out than he's told. Um, you know, debate, if you will, on whether or not that was a good decision on the Emperor's part. That's what he does. Um, so they're in there tapping into stuff that they are not supposed to be tapping into. And because they're doing it unguided and with a lot of ignorance, they're making mistakes. All right? And they're letting things in that shouldn't be in there. Things that will cause a huge rift in the legions in the years to come and be the catalyst to the greatest period of war that mankind will ever see. Um, and that's why it's called the Grim Dark Future, is the Horus Heresy kicks off a period of war for 10,000 plus years. Even after the Horus Heresy is won, it's still a hot mess. And there's still factions and craziness to put down everywhere. All because it's not that big a deal. It's just a little bit of secrecy. Let them have their fun. That's the problem with overlooking bad behavior and just saying, they're just having fun. If it's bad behavior, it's bad behavior. It needs to be stamped out. And Horus good and darn knows that this is not something his legion's supposed to be participating in, and he's allowing it. And not just allowing it, but he's kind of part of it to a level. He's part of the problem. And because he's part of the problem, he don't do nothing about it, because telling on his Legionaries means telling on himself to his dad. You think Horus the Perfect is going to tell on himself to his dad? Absolutely not. Wow, who does that? I mean, I'll tell on you to mom and dad. I'm not telling on me. I'm telling my brother. I'm not telling on myself. That's different. And he tells Garviel basically to drop it. Drop it, Loken. We're not doing anything about this. And that lays the seeds for those who have already fallen to the ruinous powers, who are already on the road to treason. That lets them know that Horus is ripe for the picking. Because there are those already in all of these 2018 legions out there who are already kind of investigating chaos, or they've seen parts of humanity that are different from what they were taught on Terra, and they're starting to have doubt. There's starting to be seeds of heresy out there. Does the Emperor know about it? To an extent, from one Primarch. We'll talk about him in another. He has his own video out there on my channel somewhere, Lorgar. But those seeds of doubt are being given fertile soil, water, a place to sprout. Heresy is dangerous because it starts small. Treachery is dangerous because it starts small and then it grows. And then a seed that sprouted somewhere else joins its vines to another seed that is sprouting. And next thing you know, you got a big old heresy garden, and you can't. That's why you got to pull the weeds in your garden. I keep the weeds in my garden. Before I had knee surgery, I went out there and went on a weed pulling mission because I knew I was going to have a ton of weeds to pull once this healed. But if I hadn't done that, I'd have 10 times as many weeds to get out. You got to pluck it when you see it. You can't wait. You got to pluck it, burn it, poison it, whatever you got to do. Get the treachery out of there. Get the weeds out. And Horus just lets them grow. And because of that, where there's already seeds of heresy, these are already looking like weathered assault places. And I'm just, whoever wins this, I hope you really like it. I'm doing this on purpose on the channel so you can see what you're going to win. And maybe it'll make you more excited. And maybe it'll get me to that 7,500 by then. We'll see. I really want someone to have this. I'm looking forward to giving it to somebody. I'm going to put the last of this ink back in here. But once those seeds of heresy are sown, you can't put it back. It got too big. It got too big too fast. And Horus proves to be easier to fell to chaos than he should have been. It's kind of sad, actually. I'm going to let these dry. In my next video, I'm going to finish painting my novitiates, and we're going to talk about the fall of Horus that really kicks off the meat of the Horus heresy and the period of time in Warhammer 30K. I hope you're enjoying this style of video. I'm looking at this now, and my video quality is so much better than the first time I did a video like this, and I think it's because I'm not connected to my other monitors, so my video card is not working so hard. The first time I did this, I was still connected to 3 other monitors via my docking station, and the video of me in the corner down here is not as great, but now it actually looks pretty good. So I think that that's the key, is to not be on the docking station when I'm doing this, so that both of my cameras can record in high definition. But I'm excited to bring newer, better content. As I was recovering from knee surgery, I was just sitting around thinking of things I could do, and the contest was one of the things that I thought up. I was like, oh, I really want to give something away. But I want to give away something that somebody's actually going to want. Put my ink away. And this is what I came up with. So I hope you're enjoying listening to Heresy 101 and watching me actually paint in real time. This is kind of my proof, too, that I'm painting this stuff. Nobody really questions it. People have questioned it to my face. Like, did you really paint that? Yes, I did. My 3D printers, I'm the one who maintains them. My husband does not maintain my 3D printers. I actually completely rebuilt my Bamboo A1 at one point, and I got everything on it completely right from a failure that I had. And the only thing I missed was I had put an anode on backwards, and it blew that little motor when I fired it up. But that was the only thing I did wrong. And a professional actually told me, they're like, you had it except for that one thing. So yeah, I have learned what I'm doing. If you've been with my channel for any amount of time, you know that I have been on a journey learning all this stuff. But I'm having fun. I am re-inspired to paint and produce videos. My dog has finally decided to be quiet. He's laying next to me. like he has a job. He does have a job. It's protecting me. He's the goodest of boys. But I'm going to finish cleaning out this brush. And it is getting on towards 7 o'clock, which means I need to go to my SCA local officers meeting for my province. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope to see you at Nashcon if you're coming. The second, third week in August, the 14th, 15th, 16th. Yeah, I think that's right. And I hope I get to give this away and somebody wins. So, as always, please like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one. Oh, yeah, join the Discord. I need to say that more.